Hello. After teaching the complete beginner to advanced course on DaVinci Resolve, I decided to show you some of the technical aspects of this software through project-based lessons. Today I want to teach you one of those technical techniques. If you pay attention to this tutorial, you'll be able to move your font through the image using the mask tool at the same time. Let's get started and I'll show you how. Alright, I'm going to delete this. I go to the media pool section and create a timeline. Then I drag my video onto my image. Okay, I'll make its size a bit bigger. I'll place it here. I've created a JPEG background layer and set its color to white. I'll bring it onto my image. Okay? Alright, then we move on to the effects. Starting from the title section in the menu, I'll select and drag the text plus element and carefully position it directly on top of the background layer, just like that. Alright, moving on to the title section, the first thing I am going to do is change its text color to a solid black. Then first, you write whatever name or surname you want. For example, I write the name. Okay. I'll make its size bigger too. Alright, let's see. I'll navigate over to the settings menu and then gradually increase the scale of this element just a little bit. I move it down a little. Here is good. Okay. Now I go to the title section and set the font I want. I choose Arial. Okay. I make it bold. Let it be this one. Now I select these two, meaning the font and the background. Right click. I'll name it Found Kit, then I'll create it. Using Alt, I make a copy of it and drag it. I'll set it aside since we'll need it later. Now let's move on to the color craft section. I'll drag this one upwards so it turns white, and I'll drag the other one downwards so it turns black. Basically, I reversed it. I made the background black and set the font to white. Again, I stay here, the edit section. I go to the composite section. This specific one right here, to be honest. I'll set it to multiple or multiple. Okay? Now, let me move my video a bit so that it sits where I want it to, a little higher so both eyes are visible and a bit more to this side. Okay. Now, I'll drag the white font and place it above my font, and here in the composite section, we'll set this one to screen. Okay? Now I'll select the layer underneath and move it a bit from the position section so that I get some black here. Basically, so that the edges turn black. Okay? Now, from the filter section, I'll apply Gaussian Blur to the black font, adjusting the horizontal and vertical values as desired. First, we apply a Gaussian Blur effect to the layer. Then we go over to the video settings and lower its opacity. You can reduce it as much as you like to achieve the specific look you are going for. Okay, now I am going to double click on my footage while holding down the Alt key, and then simply drag a duplicate copy upwards to the next track. Basically, we place it on the upper layer. Then from the drop-down menu, simply select the color mask option. Now I will carefully select the pen tool and create a mask around this specific part of the image. To ensure that this change will affect the layer directly below it, right-click in this area and select the option to add alpha output. This will create an output for you here. Then drag it so that the mask is applied to it. Okay, now adjust its position and settings. I'm fixing it. Alright, I want to be completely focused on its head. Okay. I'll also soften it a bit so the edges become blurred. Okay. Now let's move on to edit. To begin here, first I will add the OpenFX effect. Next, I'm going to right-click on the clip and select the option for a new compound clip. Now, I will name this specific clip mask and then click on create. Alright, moving over to the filter section, I am going to carefully apply the 3D keyer effect directly to my video footage. Okay, with this, the section is completely... I'm carefully removing the unwanted red tones from my image, and I'll also enhance the appearance of the lips a bit here. It's good up to this point. Now take a close look. It is almost as if your entire character is slowly emerging right out of this heavy armor. Do you see what I mean? Alright. Well, that is going to wrap things up for our tutorial today. I truly hope that you found this session helpful and enjoyed the process. If you are joining us for the first time on this channel, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell icon. Until we meet again in the next tutorial, goodbye for now.